Welcome back. We're on a rare little Tuesday live episode, Black and White Takes. We got a lot to talk about today. NBA Finals is here. Um, Jace, I'll get right into it. I know you're feeling good. You've been all over the Pacers. You gave them out to win the East. They got it done. Plus 2,100. How you feeling, man?
Feel great, man. I feel great. My Pacers are, they're showing up, they're performing, they're doing exactly what I knew they were going to do. And I got a lot of hate for it, but we're here. They're in the NBA Finals, and they're going to keep it rolling.
Love it, man. Simi, what's your reaction, man, with the Knicks failing to get it done?
I guess we expected this, and then we see the downfall of Tom Thibodeau today. Who you could argue is one of the more successful coaches in the last decade or so for the Knicks. But yeah, I mean, we expected this. We kind of called the Pacers to have some success in that series and the last couple series. So excited to see what's next here.
Dude, do you guys have any thoughts on Tom Thibodeau? I kind of thought that was a good fire. If they can go get a real guy.
He was good enough, but not going to push them over the top, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. Kind of reminds me of the whole Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr situation, obviously, with that young core that the Knicks do have with Mikal, Jalen, and Kat, if they can go get a real coach, I kind of like it for them.
How long is
What about Jay Wright, bro?
How long had he been there,
going after
Thibodeau?
5 years.
Oh, okay.
5 years.
Yeah, it's weird that they fired him though, right after his longest playoff run.
Yeah, but I think they saw that they weren't gonna ever get over the hump with him, in how he wore on his players. I mean, dude, that squad, I think with a real coach, give them a real game plan other than just go out there and play defense for 42 minutes, 43 minutes, whatever he is running those guys at. I mean, there's a better strategy with those guys. I think they made the right decision.
Yeah, apparently Tibbs' offensive scheme is non-existent. I was listening to Jeff Teague talk about how Tibbs runs the offense, and he's just kind of all right, go out there, fellas. And I guess all he pounds on is defense.
Oh, 100%, dude. And there's only so much you can rely on the defensive end when you have such talented guys when it comes, Eastern Conference Finals, as we saw. The Pacers were still able to get theirs. You're not going to keep games in the 90s. This isn't, 2001, 2005 basketball. You got to have an offensive scheme. The best of teams of the, in the NBA are coming up and generating points and still playing good defensively. So, yeah, it was time for him to go. I have no gripes to that fire. Get him out of there.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into just, talking about this series from a betting perspective. I know there's a lot of different ways, and we'll have plenty of time to talk about the series. But right off rip, the first thing that jumps out is Thunder minus 750 to win the series. And for someone that's like the Thunder all along, I clearly cannot bet that. I wish I could. If it was minus 200, I'd be ecstatic to bet it. But I knew where I was not going to get a price like that. But I don't think anyone expected for the Thunder to be a minus 750 favorite here. And then the Pacers are plus 530. And I saw a stat the other day that that is the longest odds pre-game one this century. So this is really just a story of it's going to be a story of a crazy underdog if the Pacers are able to overcome this. Jess, we were talking a little bit before we went live here just about the series spread. There's value in the plus money range for plus 1.5, plus 2.5. What's your feeling here? Should you just take the series spread at plus 2.5, plus 1.5, or just take the value on the plus 530?
Yeah, I just saw on DraftKings you can get the Pacers plus 2.5 at plus 120. So, I mean, that's going to be a play for me. That has to be a play. I mean, I think the books have undervalued the Pacers throughout. And I mean, I'll wait till Alec gives his take before I give my recap on why this is the play. But yeah, you have to take the Pacers here plus 2.5 plus money, plus 120 on DraftKings right now.
Yeah, Sammy, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not. I guess I'm not going to say that, but I am holding a Pacers future at plus 400, which is crazy because I got it 2 weeks ago, and now I could get a plus 500, whatever that is. So I've been looking for ways to hedge it, but I haven't. Yeah, I haven't hedged it yet. I don't think I'm gonna hedge. So I'm stuck here with the Pacers, and I guess I don't hate it. I'm really anxious to see how they play in Game 1 and how they match up in this series. But yeah, I guess I'm all in on the Pacers for this.
Dude, you could take like exact series, right? At like you could take the OKC to win 4-2. I mean, that probably has some good value.
Yeah, I was looking at those exactas too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CK, who do you like?
OKC minus 1.5 isn't worth it at all.
Nah.
Yeah, CK, Thunder Boy.
Yeah, I mean,
Thunder Boy.
Yeah, so I'm all over the Thunder. My best bet is definitely going to be OKC minus 2.5 at minus 132 on FanDuel. Love the number. I mean, come on, man. I love the short favorite number. So I like anything that's above minus 120, below minus like 155. I'm feeling good. Always makes me feel confident. And then I've liked the Thunder all along. So they were my favorite before the playoffs even started to win it all.
CK, we're head to head.
I know, man. I'm trying to get a little gentleman's wager for some fantasy luck or fantasy players.
Yeah, I can't give you fantasy capital for this. But do I have a question for you? How do you fall on this number? How do you fall on the minus 2.5? You don't think this, when they went to a 7-game series with the Nuggets, you don't think this team is better? You don't think this Pacers team is better than the Nuggets?
No, I don't actually. And I think that if the Nuggets were to play the Pacers, the Nuggets would win in 6 or 7. I'm not saying that they would dominate them, but I think the Nuggets are a much better team. They're an actual championship caliber team. They've beat great teams. They don't rely on injuries to get this far. I mean, look at who the Pacers have played. They've played a busted Cavs team. They've played basically a busted Bucks team without Dame. And then who did they just beat? The Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, yeah, I still don't buy that this team is legit.
All right. Well, you'll see.
We saw what happened when they played a real team last year and they lost 4-0 to the Celtics.
The same team that was losing to the Knicks team that they just beat. Okay. Alec, who do you think is better, the Nuggets or the Pacers?
I guess the Jokic effect is pretty big in there, so that's hard to compare to another team. But I mean, the Pacers as a team are definitely better than the Nuggets.
Yeah.
And go deeper too.
I'm just trying to understand your rationale on being, dude, that's such a, for NBA Finals, minus 2.5 is pretty big number. You're muted, I think, CK.
No, my bad. I was on TikTok and I tried to share this live stream to my TikTok and someone asked, "Why are you so scared to look at the camera? Who are you debating?" It's because I'm live on my phone, so they think I'm looking at you guys on my screen. So sorry, I was just answering that, but it's just getting a little traction on the TikTok. But anyways, back to what we were talking about. Yeah, I mean, I think after this series, we're gonna give some props to Jokic. Jess, that's all I'm gonna say, because going to 7 with this OKC team is wild.
I think after this series, you're going to see that the Indiana Pacers are the best basketball team this year in the NBA.
Yeah, that's a hot take. That is a hot take.
Do we want to break down our picks? I'll break down why I'm on the plus 2.5. And I actually think the Pacers are going to win this series in 6.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, this is the 5th team that they're playing with a ball dominant scorer, incredibly high usage rate. First, we got Giannis, we got Donovan Mitchell, we got Jalen Brunson, so 4th team, and now we got Shea. The recipe for beating these teams are all the same. They have had complete, I guess, building up to this moment. I mean, Shea is going to be the best. I mean, actually, I don't know. All those guys are really talented. I would argue Donovan Mitchell and Giannis might be better offensively than Shea. But it's building up to this moment. So it's not an entirely new game plan, right? And honestly, with the rest Naismith is going to get from that ankle. Like they just have so many guys to throw at Shea, and I don't think the Thunder around Shea are actually like compared to the Pacers. They don't have anyone that does anything elite. Like short J Dub, he's a good second guy in the NBA role player. Same with Chet, like he's super talented, but he doesn't like outside of blocking shots. They don't excel at like one thing. Like Naismith,
Caruso elite, bro.
defensively, sure, but is Caruso really going to win you a championship,
I mean, maybe,
bro? Not if you're the best. If the best what you have to offer is the best thing that you have to offer, the most elite is your sixth man or seventh man being a defensive stopper. That's not going to win you a championship in the NBA. I don't think.
he's kind of the reason they got out of that Denver series.
Yeah, low key. I mean that and the free throw merchant, but I'm not even a Shea hater. Like I was bullish on Shea coming out of Kentucky. He keeps getting better. So but just the Pacers all around, they have so many guys that do a lot of things very extremely well. Like Halliburton for his antics, whatever. He's an extremely good passer, playmaker, decision maker, and like floor general. He controls the pace of every game, which is gonna be something that I don't think OKC is extremely used to with coming out of the Denver series, and also the T Wolves. I don't even want to talk about the T Wolves. That matchup was so stupid. That should have been the Warriors. So I do think they're going to struggle with how fast that the Pacers are going to come at them. And then like, dude, I mean, Shepherd shooting, Miles Turner shooting. Like they have so many guys that can shoot the basketball. That Siakam, I think but I give the slight edge to him over Chet, right? Like, dude, I just think the books have completely undervalued the Pacers out this entire matchup, and they're like, oh, no one likes Indiana, no one likes the Pacers, they don't want to bet them. And we know we're going to get people fall into love with OKC because, you know, they have the MVP. They have beaten the Nuggets, who have championship DNA. And I just think the 2.5 at plus money, man, like for them just to get to 6 games, like there's so much value there.
I've never seen a team get so utterly disrespected by Vegas. And I guess maybe that's because Vegas weighs the Western Conference a little bit more than the Eastern Conference, and then also thinks that the Thunder are that much better than the Pacers. But it just seems kind of disrespectful to have this number before we've even seen a game in the series.
Yeah, dude, and
like
they
that
split in the
analysis,
regular
though, Jay.
season.
Yeah,
Appreciate
right?
it, dog. They split in the regular season. Both teams lost at the home court. Like, so it's kind of crazy that like you can see that there are advantages for both teams like to win games in this series. This wasn't like OKC when they played Miami, like when LeBron and versus the Kevin Durant. Like this isn't that situation. This to me, this is not screaming a 5-1 or 4-1, a 5-game series, or like even a 4-2. This is gonna scream. This is OKC's first time there. It's Indiana's first time there. Indiana is a really freaking good basketball team. Not to discredit OKC, but like both of these teams are inexperienced. I would not be surprised with that. It's just going to be a back and forth series.
Trying to understand what the Thunder have done to get this much respect, other than their like point differential in the regular season. But like all these guys are fairly unproven outside of Shea.
What they've done is that they're not Indiana.
Yeah.
Like if this was Boston, they would not be getting this number. I don't even think they'd be getting this number if it was New York.
Like Chet and J Dub, what have both of these guys done in that?
That's my point. Nothing. You disagree, Cameron?
Well, I mean, I get it. Like, I do think that it's weird. I think there's just a higher likelihood because what we've seen is like there's bad Thunder and then there's good Thunder. And when good Thunder is good Thunder, it's like, bro, no one's hanging with them. So I think there is that opportunity where if they're on and it looks like the book thinks that this matchup really favors them, which I also agree with, you know, they do have the potential to really like, I mean, you know, not just win this series, but blow the Pacers out in multiple games.
Dude, but the books have really liked every series, every opponent against the Pacers.
Bro, because they're the Pacers, man.
See, that's
I
my
don't know why you like them.
Because they're good, like they're a well-developed, designed basketball team.
Dude, come on. You've seen it like 2 series in a row now. Like it's that like game 1, game 2 weird Hallie step back shit. Like, bro, that's not gonna fly against the Thunder.
Dude,
like we're talking about like little like game winners where they could easily,
but
you know,
but when
like,
you think about it, they've really only had 3 bag. They have the game 3 against the Cavs. They had the game 3 against the Bucks. And what was it? Game 3 against the Knicks
5.
too. Game 5. They've had 3 bad games this entire playoff run.
Yeah, that's true. No, I mean I get it. It is hard. I think just like looking at how well the Pacers have performed this playoff run, it has been impressive.
Dude, their offensive numbers
I just look at the book though, and it's like I'm still trying to understand why the book is pricing it like this.
Because, like you said, it's the Pacers.
Disrespectful, bro.
But it's like they're trying to get Pacers money. I don't know. It's weird.
If this was a big market team, I don't think the books are giving you plus 2.5 for a team that like is performing great. Like they were playing great basketball, man. They are playing really well defensively. They're probably leading the playoffs in points per game. They have to be.
Yeah, and that's why I want to go back to what I said. Like, this is what the longest odds in like the last century. Like, I mean, I just like let's think real quick. I feel like there's definitely been finals matchups where we're like, you know, there's a bigger dog. Like one that comes to mind is like 2018 or 2017 Cavs versus Warriors. Like, I mean, yeah, they had LeBron James, but I mean, we kind of knew.
Well, you know. that's a part of the point, right? Like the Pacers don't have in the public's eyes, they don't have a guy.
Yeah.
Like Halliburton, sure, but like he's kind of new. He's also not like an elite scorer. He doesn't do what you expect the guy like your CEO to do on an NBA basketball team. Like he can't necessarily go out every night and give you 30 if he wants.
Yeah.
But he can go out every night and control a game and completely dominate the pace of play and just be an absolute playmaker. And that's the thing about the Pacers, man. The Pacers, I don't think you realize, like, their role players, like, all of them do something elite.
They need Nembhard and Nesmith to stand up big time. And I guess they have been doing that for the whole playoffs. So
yeah, they've been doing that.
Like Nembhard them here.
Yeah, like Nembhard shoots high percentages. Naismith shoots really well from 3. They both like are extremely good defenders, like elite defenders. Toppin coming off the bench, gets points, gets offensive rebounds, like energy plays, pushes the pace in transition, like an elite transition player. Like that's what I'm saying. Like they all have guys like, yeah, all around they're not all around as a good role player as J-Dub. Absolutely. 100% agree. But if it just came down to like playing off Halliburton and making a catch and shoot shot, Naismith does that just as well as J-Dub. Probably better.
Yeah.
If we're being honest.
And we've seen it all series. Like the difference maker in this series is obviously going to be Wallace. So, I mean, I'm looking for him to have a big series.
He's saying that with a straight face.
Shout out Wallace. Straight face.
Do you know where he went to college?
Nah, I just know he's Wallace, bro. He's
oh man.
No, I'm playing. But
no, you're not. Right. Do you know where he went to school?
Yeah, Kentucky, man. Come on.
Oh, okay.
He is kind of tough though, but I mean he's just Wallace.
Kaysen Wallace. Kaysen.
Nah, it's just Wallace. I don't
Kaysen is almost just as bad as Jace. Kaysen.
I think it's Kayvon. Isn't it Kayvon?
Nah, it's Kaysen.
Is it Kaysen or Kayvon? Oh shit, I thought it was Kayvon, so I didn't even know.
It's kind of similar to Jace.
Yeah. Kaysen.
Can't believe Jace is a real name. You name your kid Jace. You're Jace. Anyways, wait, this is a good transition. Let's talk about Simi, you can introduce it, the top 5 that we got today.
All right, yeah, let's go through quickly the top 5 players in the NBA Finals in your guys' opinion. Anybody want to start?
In order? In
In
order?
order, 1 through 5.
Oh man. I'll start. I'm actually gonna go hot take Siakam at 1, Shea at 2, Hallie at 3. Who am I missing? J-Dub at 4, and for this series, and not all around player, I think Chet will have a better career than him and is probably better than him, but Miles Turner at 5.
Bro, you hate Chet.
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. That's not true.
The biggest
my bad.
Chet hater.
No,
Not
no,
even
I'm
top
not.
5 is wild.
No, I think he will be a top 5 player. He's just like right now, skinny, injury prone. Honestly, what he's averaging like 15 points a game, same as Miles Turner in the playoffs. Like, but he doesn't. He's not as consistent shooter as Miles Turner. Like, he's not going to stretch the floor. He doesn't do the things I think for Shea that Miles Turner does for Halliburton. Like,
Yeah.
Miles Turner really helps Halliburton with the way he does. He pulls out that big, and Halliburton can turn that corner and get to the rim. So yeah, I like Miles Turner at 5, but no Chet hate.
All right, wait, run it through real quick again before.
Yeah, I got Siakam at 1, Shea at 2, Hallie at 3,
What?
J-Dub at 4, and Miles Turner at 5.
Siakam at 1?
Bro,
I was actually just about to say that earlier.
Jeez. Okay. Go
wait,
ahead,
like
Simon.
as in like a crazy take? Like, you think that's crazy?
Nah, I don't think that's that crazy. He's been on
No, it's not that crazy.
besides a couple of quiet games, he's been on quite the tear.
Yeah, and like he dominates the court in more like the game in more ways than Halliburton and Shea for what he does for that team.
Dude, Pascal's scoring in transition has been so lit.
Defensively too, rebound. Yeah, like chat when we clip this up, let us know. Is that a crazy take?
All right, my 5. Free throw merchant Shea at 1. What the Hallie band? Hallie at 2. Playoff Pascal, I am the captain now. At 3. My guy Chetty at 4. And then J-Dub at 5. An honorable mention, Miles Turner. Miles Turner and Chet is a great debate, in my opinion. Both stretch bigs that block a lot of shots. But yeah, that's the 5 there for me.
I like it.
Yeah, mine's you're not gonna like mine. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do it a little different. I'm gonna start from 5, and then we'll work my way to 1. But at number 5, let's just go ahead and get it over with. I got What the Hallie at 5 in this series. What, Jace? I'm being serious.
That's crazy.
Trolling.
If you have Chet and J-Dub over him, like that's actually stupid. But okay, keep going. It's your
All
list.
right, number 4, I got J-Dub, obviously.
Over Halliburton. Okay.
He's him. Number 3, I got Siakam. 2, I got Chet, and then 1, I got Shea.
What justifies Chet over Siakam?
Bro, he's Chet, man. Come on.
No, like this. I actually want to see if you know ball. What justifies Chet over Siakam?
What justifies Chet over Siakam right now, you're saying?
Yes, I asked it twice.
I would say ability to stretch the floor. What do you mean?
Ability to what?
Siakam
Stretch the floor.
You know, he has a higher 3-point. Do you know who has the higher 3-point percentage?
Probably Siakam right now.
For their careers. You don't even have to do right now.
I mean, the thing about Chet
who do you think if you're a defender, who do you think the NBA defenders are more afraid of shooting an open 3? Chet or Siakam?
That's fair. Siakam, I'll give you that, but I would say if you asked a defender who they would rather guard, they'd rather guard Siakam. Because we know Shaq can take the ball to the hole. He can slash too.
Trolling, bro.
I'm not even trolling.
Based off what proves that? Not points per game. I mean, Siakam averages more points per game. He scores more in the like. There's nothing that's what I'm saying. What justifies it? I'm trying to find your actual rationale other than like you emotionally sucking off Chet.
Let's see. Kind of just the eye test.
Wait, CK,
Yeah,
I need
yeah,
your,
it's an emotional
I need your 5 again.
2-hand twist.
Yeah, so my 5 is starting at 1. Shea, Chet, Siakam, J-Dub, and Hallie.
Dude, I don't
It's
even think you know where
interesting.
J-Dub went to college either.
No, I actually don't. Where'd he go?
No idea either. My Alec,
I think
do
he
you know
went
where he
to
went to
like
school?
a small school, right?
He has yeah, it's a small one on the West Coast, I think.
So Washington
Let's
State
look.
now.
Are you looking it up, Cam?
Yeah, I gotcha.
All right.
There's so many Jalen Williams though. That's probably like the most common basketball name, Jalen Williams. Santa Clara. So
Dang, he went to school at Pods.
did he?
Yeah.
But Potts transferred right to like Illinois or where?
Nah, he transferred from Illinois to Santa Clara.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Dude, that's a wild top 5.
Wait, timeout. Was Chet third team All NBA or anything this year? No, he wasn't, right?
No, bro.
I don't know. I mean, Simi, I'll ask you. Do
Siakam
you
has
think,
also won an NBA Finals.
yeah, but do you guys? I guess are you guys putting J Dub as the second best player over Chet? I'm just curious.
Yeah,
don't
that's
think
kind
you
of up
guys-
for debate too.
But that's the problem with OKC. That's the problem I have with them. Like, I don't even think they have a second best player. Like, I don't think there is like really like sure Shea is your guy, but like I think we're gonna see that. Like they're just a bunch of good players, but like no one else really excels, like is elite at anything. And I think the Pacers will expose that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to talk you into the Pacers here, but like the fact that you can't clearly point out the second best player on OKC is a problem going into the series.
Who's the second best player on the Pacers?
Siakam or
Halliburton.
Hallie are kind of interchangeable up there.
Yeah, I guess Siakam is. Yeah.
You have like
I just think Miles Turner's close.
but you have your 3 go-to guys, so, right? Like they're running their offense through Halliburton with Miles Turner, PNR, right? And then Siakam slashing. And then you have guys that completely fit around that know their role in Nembhard and Naismith. Where like OKC, you kind of have that like take turn basketball. Like, oh, Shea can't get to the hole. We'll pass it to J-Dub. J-Dub's going to go one-on-one and then give it to what? Isaiah Robinson or Lou Dort for a corner 3 who like aren't even that great of shooters. Like, I don't know. Lou Dort. That's a funny guy to be starting at NBA Finals.
Yeah. I was just looking at Siakam's stats versus Chet. They're pretty good. They've
Yeah,
played twice
he's-
only, surprisingly, but he's averaged 20 against him. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't.
Siakam wrecked Carl Anthony too.
Bro, yes.
Sugar man.
He's been on a tear this playoffs. Sugar.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I guess we still have a couple days till game 1, but let's talk real quick about the game 1 number. Thunder minus 9.5. This has got to be a Pacers spot, right?
Yeah, Pacers, have they lost a game 1? I don't think they have. And have they not covered in a game 1? I don't think they have.
I love the
So-
number.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
still,
for who?
Still haven't lost a game 1.
I think it's a really good number because it's like, I mean, I think if the Pacers cover, they win. But I'm all about. I would probably lean OKC minus 9.5. I know that sounds crazy, but they're just the type of team where if they're going to win, they're winning double digits. So the book's like, yeah, we'll just juice this a little bit. Just 'cause
Dude,
it's
Cameron
OKC.
is never going to be on the Pacers here.
And you're never going to be on the Thunder.
Yes,
We
I
gotta
would.
stay-
Game 2 is going to be a perfect time to be on the Thunder.
Why? Because they're going to lose game 1.
Yeah.
I like the
Pacers-
Thunder covering at home way more than. I feel like on the road they win and don't cover, but at home if they win, sometimes they cover by a lot.
All right.
Dude, but also hasn't OKC struggled with covering right now? They can't cover a number, and they're already getting an inflated number. Like plus 500 is the greatest margin, right? That's considered the biggest underdog, right? So they're already kind of screwing that number up.
Yeah. I want to say it right now real quick. My prediction is Thunder in 5. We're going to see the Pacers steal game 4. And then Thunder are going to come back home and clean it up. So Thunder in 5.
Okay, we're talking about game 1. All right, give me Pacers plus 9.5 game 1.
Can we roll that over?
We can't even roll that. We can't roll that bet over because CK
we don't have to bet spread. We could let's. You want to talk total real quick? We never really talked about totals.
All right. Give it to us.
Before I reveal the total, maybe this will help see where you're leaning, Jay. But I mean, what do you think the total should be?
The point total?
And then we can see if you're over or under that.
Yeah. I'm thinking like 230, 229.5.
Okay, yeah. So it's 231 on FanDuel. So
dang, I'm
pretty
sharp.
But what do you think about an under there? I like an under. I think we have 2 inexperienced teams. Obviously outside of Siakam, none of them have really been to finals. In the starting lineup at least. So it's like I could definitely see the nerves being high, especially on OKC's end, hosting this game 1.
Yeah, that's my point.
Definitely see this being an under game.
You have Halliburton, who's played in the Olympics. You've had Siakam, who's played in the finals.
We're just talking about the Olympics. My bad. Sorry. I'll mute up. My bad.
You've had Siakam, who's played in NBA finals. You have Halliburton, who's played in an Olympics, and a lot of pressure this playoffs. He's, this is OKC's first time playing a significant playoffs in general, right? Like last year, they were kind of relevant in the playoffs, right? Because they lost to the Mavs. When did they lose to the Mavs? Semifinals of the Western Conference.
Yes.
Yeah. So they haven't really even played in it. This was their first Western Conference Finals. I think this game. I hear your point with the totals, but this game, I don't like that more than the plus 9.5.
Yeah, and I hear you. The one thing I do want to point out though is I would say just in terms of this playoff series or run for the Thunder, they faced more adversity than this Pacers team. I think for them, it was big for them to have to overcome Denver. And even though they probably shouldn't have been in that position, but what were they? Down 1-0, and then they were also down, I think, 3-2, and then ended up having to come back and win the series.
Okay, so they've proven that they can lose game 1
haven't
at
had
home.
Any adversity in that way.
Adversity doesn't always correlate though. We've seen it with not OKC, the Warriors, who just have steamrolled playoffs. Adversity doesn't always correlate to a necessity in performing in the playoffs.
I agree.
And in the finals.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just want to point out that they've had that.
Yeah, but I think the bigger factor in that is that we've seen OKC blow game 1s. We've seen OKC have slow start to series. And we've seen the Pacers have incredibly hot start to the series. I think the fact that we're getting a plus 9 here is actually insane. I think plus 9.5.
Yeah, I can be talked into if we want to do the rollover bet for the plus 9.5, I can definitely get there for game 1. I was just saying I could definitely see the Thunder, because I think if the Thunder win, they're going to blow them out. But I do think that this is a good number for the Pacers as well.
And just I just think with the history of how they've performed early on in series and the playoffs, and verse on the contrary, how well the Pacers have performed early on in series. The Pacers are going to come out hot, man. They don't care what the Halliburton, the Halliban.
What the Halliban?
Almost had a slip there.
What the Halliban?
Put us up on Rumble.
I didn't even hear what you almost said.
The Halliban. But I almost said. Well, never mind. You'll get it later. Alec, what were you leaning game 1? What do you like?
Let's roll over the Pacers, man.
You're there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah. Who do you like to have a big game one?
See, I want to say Siakam.
I can see that
I'm
too.
not sure how Hartenstein factors into this series at all. That's kind of an interesting piece.
I don't think they can play him that much. The Pacers have kind of owned teams that want to have a big that stays in the paint.
Mitchell Robinson.
I mean, Cat even. He doesn't really want to go out and guard on the perimeter. Jarrett Allen doesn't really want to go out and guard on the perimeter. I mean, we saw with Bobby Portis and freaking Lopez, who they're not like. I think Hartenstein's going to struggle to find impactful minutes in this series. They're going to have to really go smaller, get Caruso out there to kind of guard Nembhard and well, probably guard Halliburton, and then move Shea onto Naismith or Nembhard.
Real quick, I just want to point out, and again, take this with a grain of salt because this is including regular seasons, but since 2023, with a disadvantage, Pacers are bottom 5 in the league against the spread, covering just 41% of the time. But
yeah, but this isn't really,
they do really well
like
with
a
the rest
rest
advantage.
disadvantage.
But I just want to point that out.
Right.
What,
And that's
2 days.
like,
I don't know. I wonder how many
disadvantage?
days it is.
yeah, you have to look at that because that's a regular season, right? Like that's going like on back to
It's
back.
like at least.
No, yeah, the Pacers have a rest here.
Yeah.
It's not like they're immediately going and playing. Like you would have to see what that's capped as.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they're still getting what, 5 days? They played Friday night or
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Yeah, they'll have plenty of time. All right, let's talk about. So we've got our rollover bet, Pacers plus 9.5, and then we'll be looking to roll that over probably to game 2, right? If it cashes. So
Yeah, or no run.
I mean, we'll
first
talk
inning.
about that in the future episode.
Hockey too. Bet some
hockey,
pucks.
some no run
I'm
first
staying
inning.
away from other sports. All right, let's talk about. So up to this point, we've seen really international stars, if you call them, between Luka and Shea. Up to this point, Jess, I'll start with you. Who's had a better career?
I think you gotta go Shea. Honestly, like he has the MVP to show for. He has runner-up MVP last year. Now they both have a finals appearance. I think you have to say Shea. To this point, kind of regardless of the outcome of the series, I think you got to go Shea.
Sammy, what do you think?
I guess before, like if Shea loses that Nuggets series, I think I say Luka here. But now that Shea is here, has the MVP, is mostly always in shape, doesn't have any like conditioning issues or hasn't had any injury past. I think I go Shea here, but yeah, they were both in that 2018 draft class. They're both 26 years old, both superstars in their own right. But yeah, I want to go Shea here with that MVP that you could debate shouldn't even be his MVP, but he's got it. And yeah, I want to go Shea, especially Luka with the first round exit this year and kind of struggling with being in shape and all that stuff with his conditioning. But yeah, I go Shea.
Solid. Yeah, I mean, this is crazy, but for me, I'm definitely going Luka, and I'm not even trying to be a contrarian. I definitely think this is Luka. First, being honest, just in terms of the award, I mean, we see how much hate Jokic is getting from guys like Jace that we've seen on this podcast. So much disrespect to MVP winners, I think. So I don't think the MVP is necessarily an award that really sticks as much as it should. I mean, I think it's different when you're a unanimous. Well, let me land my. I think it's different when you have a unanimous MVP like Steph Curry. Like, yes, that's different. But if we're just talking about an MVP, which Simi, you even referred to, that he arguably shouldn't have even won. I don't think that's much. And then also, I mean, I do think it's impressive that the Thunder have gotten here, but for them to be plus 130 favorites, I would say, and there's definitely a case overall that we haven't seen the best Shea this playoffs run so far. I mean, we knew how good this team was. The book knew how good this team was. It seemed like the public did too. But if you look at what Luka did last year with that Mavericks team, with guys like PJ Washington, Derek Jones Jr., to get them all the way to the finals. And then obviously, they got smoked by the Celtics. I think it's, I mean, yeah, he had Kyrie, but I'm just saying it was unexpected. Like, I think they were actually favored to lose in the first round that year that Luka made that run. So I just think there's been more high highs for Luka in that sense. We're like on a, and just really around the world, like he's made more of an impact so far in the league, just in terms of his name. And then I think also just the trade helps too. I mean, even though he did get fat, it's like now he's playing for the Lakers. I think if we're just looking at who's had better in terms of like popularity and stuff, I mean, it's definitely got to be Luka. So,
yeah, I think you're kind of avoiding the question. I mean, like in terms of better career, right? So like an MVP does matter for career, right? Like if you ask me Jokic's career, like we're not talking about the series that he had against OKC. If you talk to me about a career, yes, Jokic is on a career list. Like there's an argument for Jokic from a career standpoint. Does an MVP disregard you from a series and how you perform in the aspect that you need to win games? No, of course not. I wasn't arguing that. I wasn't arguing that Jokic's career is worse or that he's like because of a playoff series. I was saying because he has such a great career and is an MVP winner. Yes, we can't just not hold him accountable to losing playoff series and act like it's meaningless. That's kind of
no, I gotcha. No, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if we're just looking at accolades,
MVPs matter for a career.
Shea's had a better career,
and that's how you're going to judge.
I'm just saying,
right?
Sure,
that's how you're going to judge. Like they're not going to look at KD's career,
but it's still holistic. It's still holistic, though. You're not just going to say just because Shea has an MVP and Luka doesn't, Shea's had a better career. I think that's kind of dumb. I think it plays into it, but we're not just looking at accolades.
No, I agree. You're not just looking at that, like right now, especially while they're still playing. But when the points per game are very similar, right? When career wins are probably higher for Shea, right? Like when you start looking at the body of work, yes, an MVP matters. Like when they both have a final appearance, when they both have similar numbers, when we're talking about the trajectory of their career, like Shea is on pace to have a better next 6 years than Luka is, right? Like you could argue that Shea has gotten better since he's gotten in the league, where Luka started off really dominant in the league, and it's actually, you could argue, has progressed, right? Like, so
that's another good point.
Yeah, that's fair. But what if let me ask one hypothetical. If they were both, like, let's say the NBA ended tomorrow and the finals doesn't even happen, but like we'll count that Shea got to the finals. Like, let's say, I think that most people would say Luka. Like, if we're making an top 100 all time, I think there's a better argument for Luka to be on that list over Shea. I mean, yes, Shea has the MVP, sure, but I still think Luka is above him.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think the MVP people would put Shea over. I mean, Luka has that name because he was so dominant early on in his career. But like in terms of
but he's had more better years though. He's had more better years.
Luka's run last year was pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's filthy.
Yeah, like that's like great. Everyone's gonna remember that.
Definitely better than Shea's run.
I mean, it's a different
No,
conversation.
I
It was
disagree
when the Thunder
with
win
you.
and
I
Shea has
disagree
the
with you.
finals.
I disagree with you on that. Like, people don't remember that. People don't remember a playoff run that meant nothing. People remember the accolades. They remember the MVP. They remember the finals. Like, no, like, I mean, I'm sorry, but like when KD, like I was getting to saying this earlier, when KD gets to the end of his career, they're just gonna see 2 finals MVPs, two finals, right, like 2 rings. Like, they're not gonna see, oh, he joined the Warriors, he played with Steph. They're not gonna look at that like as that's why he has that. They're just gonna be like, oh, yep, that those are his accolades. We're putting him here because of that. Just like with Luka, at the end of if Luka's career stopped tomorrow, they're not gonna be like, oh yeah, remember that really great playoff run he had in 2023 and 2024, like that playoff run, like let's put him in the top 75 all time list. They're not gonna say that.
Yeah, I guess the details kind of do
Shout
drop
out
out.
to James P. Case just joined the stream on Instagram. Shout out to you, James P. Case.
Hey, that's my brother.
Sorry.
No, just like right, like AI. Think about AI in 2001. AI has dropped off a lot on these lists, and people are now like kind of just forget about AI. But his 2001 playoff run just to lose to the Lakers, like people don't bring that up.
Devin Booker's about to be in this situation.
Yeah, Devin Booker, 4 years out of his incredible run. Nope, we don't remember him.
I actually can't remember his last playoff run.
My point.
Sad.
It's probably going in the finals, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I forgot he even went to the finals. Not gonna lie.
Yep.
Sorry, Cam. I didn't mean to completely annihilate your take there.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
TK's take was good. That was good dialogue there.
Yeah, it was a good dialogue. It felt like first take for a second. I felt like Stephen A.
He said, "Let me land my plane."
Felt like Skip.
Felt like Skip. All right, let's go to my I do have a guessing game. This has kind of been tradition. This will be a quick one because we're only guessing 5 things. But I have a list in front of me of, this is going to be kind of random, but it's the most dunks at each position in the NBA for the 2024-2025 season. So, yeah. So in short, I have a point guard, a shooting guard, a small forward, power forward, and a center by the amount of dunks, specifically dunks that they've had. I will say before we start the guessing, and we'll do 3 strikes. So, but before we start, I want to clarify, like for the point guard, I have 2 guards, definitely 2 forwards, and then a center. So like the point guard, what I'm trying to say technically could be a shooting guard. I feel like he's probably more a shooting guard on the team. I don't know how much point guard he played. Just keep that in mind. But anyone have any guesses to throw out? We're just guessing those 5 positions.
Can Alec and I be on the same team?
Yeah, we can do this together. You guys.
Alec, what do you think about Jarrett Allen at number 5?
I was thinking of Jarrett Allen, Wemby, and Mitchell Robinson.
I think Jarrett Allen played more minutes. We both have Jarrett Allen. I think we had, and Wemby also had a shorter season. I think we gotta go Jarrett Allen.
All right, that'll be strike 1. And just to help you guys out, none of those guys that you've mentioned so far are on this list.
Oh shoot, this is gonna be hard.
Cool.
All right,
but you can definitely you can get the bigs.
John Morant dunks a lot, but CK said the point guard is more of a shooting guard, and Ja also missed some time.
Yeah,
the point guard's the hardest, so I'll give a hint. So when this team is fully healthy, this guy is definitely not. He's not the point guard. He's the shooting guard. I'll say he plays it 2 when this team is fully healthy.
Donovan Mitchell dunks the ball a lot too.
And the last thing I'll say is we have 4 Western Conference guys, 1 Eastern Conference.
That helps a lot. 4 Western Conference guys. Dude, who's the Lakers? No, it has to be no one on the Lakers.
Jackson Hayes is the only one but no way he has enough volume.
Fully healthy.
Thinking about Jaren Jackson Jr.
The
Dude,
guy who led the
dunks?
league, the guy who led the league this year was the power forward, by the way. And then it's the center, and then the small forward, then the shooting guard, then the point guard. So, but the power forward is the one.
Were all these guys in the playoffs? Can you help us there?
All of them except for the point guard.
Okay.
I guess who catches a lot of lobs? That should be an easy.
Dude, I don't know. I'm like blanking.
I also want to put out there, it's not just lobs though, because I do think like with this stat, it's probably a lot of people that are able to self-create, you know, like dunk opportunities, if that makes sense. Keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, like, dude, the Celtics are so hard because they took so many threes.
Yeah, you guys just are missing the guy. You guys know who you got to know who this like.
Dude, we don't play 2K like you.
No, this isn't a 2K thing.
I just feel like,
You
All
said
right,
the point
so
guards. Do
you want another
the
hint?
point guards in the East?
yeah, the point guards in the
No,
East
I'll tell you who's in the East. So the power forward's in the East, and he's also number 1 on this list.
and didn't make the playoffs.
No, the point guard didn't make the playoffs.
Oh,
The point guard who's not really a point guard.
the power forward. All right, Alec, give me power forwards for the East.
The East.
We got. I mean, what we got? I don't even know. Like
Miles Bridges is a
Bridges.
crazy dunker.
Oh my God, you guys got to be messing with me. I'm sorry. I feel like you guys are always
Williams.
messing with me in this game.
Nah, you have the list in front of you, bro.
I know. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to.
Dude, I really can't think.
So
Magic.
like,
Why would it be the Magic? No.
let me help you guys out. So the power forward and the center. So the power forward on this list has been on this list 1, 2, 3, like 6
And he's in the
times
East.
in
Dude,
the last
does-
8 years.
Okay,
And then same with the
but
center.
I don't even think he. All right, so we gotta. First one comes. Giannis has to be on this list.
Yeah, Giannis is him. Yeah, that's the.
Is he the power forward?
Well done.
okay.
Well done.
I don't know why
Okay.
that's so hard.
That should have been easy.
Just
Well,
think about
wasn't-
it. Like, come on, you guys are
I wasn't
overthinking. Talk
thinking-
about Mikal Bridges.
I wasn't thinking like.
I said
Yeah,
Miles
I
Bridges.
don't know.
Okay, so that was the easy one that I was hoping. The
Alright.
center you can definitely get too. Another playoff guy. Everyone else is in the West.
In the
though.
West. All right, center that plays a lot of minutes
Yep.
in the West. Alec, what do you think about Rudy Gobert? That he has to be on this, right? Like he shoots so many dunks. Like can't remember the last layup he took. He misses a
Yeah,
lot
Rudy.
of shots. so.
Rudy center. Final answer.
Yep. That's a good guess. That is the center. Nice job.
All right.
Yep. Rudy was on it for the past 3 years as well. Past 4 years, actually 5. Wow, it looks like every year basically Rudy's on this list.
Mm.
All right, so for the small forward, this is kind of crazy, but the small forward was also
He's gonna give us someone from like freaking Toronto.
the small forward was on
the
this
Nets.
list last year. No one else on. So yeah, the small forward was on the list last year.
All right, didn't make the playoffs. Toronto. Is there anyone in Toronto?
I thought it was a West.
I don't think.
The rest
No,
is
the
Western
small
Conference.
Yeah, it's all the rest is
Really?
Western Conference.
Oh, I thought we had East. Okay. All right, let's think of NBA dunk champions. What position does? All right, so we had Zach LaVine.
None of these
he
guys
was
are NBA
out.
dunk champions. I'm
No,
just trying to help.
That's a,
That's
that's a
no.
good
Aaron
thought.
Gordon
None of these
knows
guys
no. Aaron Gordon knows Zach LaVine.
No.
Shoot, man. All right, so what we got Rudy Gobert, we got Giannis at the power forward, so now we have the 3, and he made the playoffs.
All of these
Jamie?
guys are 24 years old or under.
Oh,
The
really?
last three guys, yeah, young guys.
So not Jimmy Butler. Okay, he didn't play that much this year. Shoot.
Any Clippers?
No. All of these guys are drafted 2022 or later, so recent.
When was
There's a
Ant
guy from
drafted?
There's a guy from basically each draft class. Guy from 2022, guy from 2020.
Is Anthony Edwards in here?
Nah, bro.
It's a good guess.
Don't say nah, bro. Like, it's not a good guess.
Well, he was drafted in what, like 2020?
I don't know.
These guys are young. So the small forward was a rookie and made this list last year. He was on this list as a rookie, which is kind of wild.
So for some reason, I think the point guard that I think has to be like, it's not Fred VanVleet, but I'm thinking Jalen Green.
That's a good guess, but no. So this point guard was drafted.
Dude,
he was a rookie. He was a rookie. Wait,
this
yeah,
year?
he was a rookie. Yep, he was a rookie. Pretty sure. Was he a rookie?
No way. No, because that's like Reed Shepherd, Rob Dillingham. There's no way he was a rookie. Dude, do you even know the list? You always be doing it with this.
Chase, chill. Chill, man. No, yeah, he was a rookie.
Bro, what? Rookie point guard?
Rookie guard, we'll say. That's the thing. I told you he wasn't really a point guard.
Alec, what are who are rookie guards this year? That played minutes.
In the West.
All right,
in the playoffs.
You want another hint?
Yeah, you're gonna have to give us hints, bro.
Went to a school in the Big East Sky. Not nothing, Jace.
Big East. So
he's got a natty.
Stephon Castle.
Yes,
dude,
Jace.
he's like a 3.
He's listed as the point guard on this list. I don't know why. I would say he's a 2. That's what I made that clear though. I was like, he's not really a point guard, but all right. The last two are a lot easier. That was the
also
hard one.
So was Stephon Castle a rookie this year?
Yeah,
also,
he was.
Wasn't he second year of the league?
He was taken number 4 overall in this past draft. It went Ricochet, Alex Sarr, Reed Shepherd, then Castle.
Dang, crazy. Okay. What else do we have?
All right, so we've got 2 other guys on this list. They were both in the playoffs. They both started. They're both in the West. They're both very athletic.
They're both
and
young.
They're not bigs. They're like guards or forwards.
Kuminga.
Who comes to mind? No Kuminga.
Trying to think of young guys.
Christian Brown, bouncy as hell, but
nah, too old. All right, let's go through. No one on Rockets. No Clippers. No one on Clippers. No one left on T-Wolves. No one on Lakers. No one on Warriors.
Yeah, you already passed it. You passed the team.
Well, shoot.
I'm trying to think.
Who's a stupid guy on the Clippers that he added? Remember, is it a Clippers team? Is it a Clippers guy?
No. So one of these guys has a good 3 ball. One of these guys does not have a good 3 ball.
Okay. No,
the small forward does not.
Dude, I gotta go through teams here. No Clippers, no Rockets, no Lakers, no Warriors.
Yep, no Lakers, no Warriors. I'll help you on that.
There's a guy on the Clippers.
What'd you say?
No Rockets and no Clippers.
Oh, the guy, Amen Thompson.
Yep, Amen Thompson. He's the guy. Yep, small forward. He was on the list last year as a rookie too.
Yep, there we go. And then we need one more.
One more. So this last guy, I will say, just to make this quick, he can shoot, and he was actually already mentioned. Like one of you guys said his name at one point.
Well, that's not gonna help. Can you?
And one of you guys shot it down as no way.
John
like
Morant?
Jace shot it down as a dumb guess. Just
Did I say it?
No, Alex said it, and Jace shot it down as a dumb guess.
Christian Braun?
What did I
Christian
say?
Brown. He's a shooting guard. Yep. I was kind of surprised about that, but I feel like he do be getting a lot of transition. Yeah.
You said
CB.
2022. He wasn't drafted in 2022.
Yeah, Jay,
I
you
said
said too old.
I said they were all drafted. Yeah, he was drafted in 22. He's year 3.
Bro, what? There we go.
Is that crazy?
If he's older than 24,
He's 24. He was the oldest guy between those last 3. Yeah, so
Oh, he is 24. That
trying
gone.
to see if
My bad, Alec.
it's not
Forgive
focusing.
me. I
But,
believe you.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was my game. Sorry, I don't know why these games always end up being hard. I was like, oh yeah, this will be a quick one.
Dude, this will be quicker once we get to like NFL. I feel like we
I
have
know.
done way more research on the NFL with like our fantasy teams than we have with like keeping
Yeah.
up with the NBA.
No, that's
We're
facts.
kind
That's
of
facts.
old heads. Like if you would have asked me NBA in like 2016 through
You'd
2019,
be locked in.
I'd be locked in.
Yeah.
When I was all over the Warriors, man.
I know, man. I'm excited for NFL, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Gonna be a game changer.
Joe Burrow, man, seeing him throw that pass to Chase.
Crazy. I've been watching those off-season workouts, man. Whew.
I know.
Look-
OTA's
looking
getting me
good.
excited.
I don't know how good the corners are looking, but Burrow's looking sharp.
Trash, bro. Cam Taylor Britt.
Bro, I mean, honestly,
Bengals are gonna be
like,
trash again.
Nah,
It matters, but it
Super Bowl
doesn't
bound.
matter. I kind of respect the Bengals because it's like they know, like, hey, if we can keep these 3 together, like they're going to get us to a Super Bowl. Like they can beat Patrick Mahomes. Like I don't know, they can get it done. You know,
facts.
They've
And
shown it.
like, let's be real. Like, how many corners? Like watching like those corners get beat by Jamar Chase. Like Jamar Chase beats every corner in the league. So
Yeah, he's the best receiver in the league, man. It's only going to get him better. But yeah, they do need again. And also, I said it, I think, on the last podcast, but it wasn't even like a talent issue. It was schematic with the
Yeah.
Bengals. I'm telling you.
okay,
Dude,
I guess.
their defense has a glaring lack of talent. But let's keep it moving.
Hey, take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah,
Let's get
we'll have
moving.
plenty of time to talk about the Bengals.
All right, so I guess the last question. Some people brought it up at work. I was asked this, and I don't know. Do you guys think you guys could beat the female UFC fighter in a fight to the death? Like they threw out the example of Ronda Rousey. Like if you
Yeah.
had to fight Ronda Rousey, do you think you guys could take her?
I'll answer this first.
Let me.
We got to
Do you want?
we
do you-
got to give the
do you-
disclaimer first that I would never.
Do you want the size of her first before you say things?
Wait, CK, go disclaimer.
Well, I got to give the disclaimer first that I would never, ever fight a person of the opposite sex. So this is just a hypothetical in a different universe. But with that being said, Ronda Rousey would not be an easy opponent. But what was your question? Jay?
She's
Go ahead.
like if you wanted like a breakdown like of her size.
Yeah, sure. Give
Once
me a breakdown.
again, I would not ever, break down a woman's size. Full disclaimer, wouldn't do it. But for the sake of this argument, I kind of have to. She is 5'7" and bought between 125 and 135 pounds. Most people
Yeah.
see her and think she's like 180. She fought at like 130.
Yeah, which is not big at all. Yeah, that makes
Which
me
is like
feel a lot.
A
Go ahead.
warm up hang cling.
Yeah, I mean that definitely makes me feel better in terms of her size. Like obviously we can handle that compared to a woman that was 180 pounds plus. But with that being said, I mean, I think if I got I think I would need to get in the gym a little bit, because my issue wouldn't be that she's gonna KO me immediately, but I do think like
Yeah, I
there
don't
could be
think
a
the
combination
issue.
where I could not see a foot coming to my head and it could like startle me.
See,
That's
I
all.
don't actually think that's even the issue. Like, I think majority of the times, like, you can probably avoid that. I think the issue is like on the ground. If she were to get you on the ground, like she has the
Really?
technique.
Nah, I think on the ground is
Dude,
almost better. It becomes brute strength.
her training is in jiu-jitsu. So like I do think
Yeah, if I'm
like
in the wrong position, that's true. Yeah.
wrong
If she gets one of
position,
my limbs.
yeah, exactly. Where I
Yeah.
think that would be a struggle. But also there are weight classes for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, and you walking around closer to 200 at your walking around weight, right? Like 70 pounds is quite a
Yeah.
difference.
And I've heard this from people that actually understand the fighting world. I don't have any fighting experience, so I don't know. But like, the weight class thing is huge. Like if you just look at men, like if you move people in weight classes, like people are always saying like, McGregor could like hold his ground at like 155 and against like a 180 UFC fighter. Like, no, there's no way. Like it's just like insane.
Right. There's weight
The
classes
difference.
for a reason.
Yeah. So
And like the striking isn't what's gonna worry me. Like, bro, like I've been hit by a dude before, like, and that didn't knock me out. I'm just not convinced that getting hit by a 130-pound woman is gonna, with gloves on, it's gonna do that much damage.
The feet are kind of sketchy. I feel like I get CK's point there, but we're all a little taller too, so it's maybe harder for her
Also
to
a
climb
good
the ladder
point.
with her feet.
Yeah, could she even reach my head with her foot? But then like a kidney, that would probably hurt just as bad.
Yeah, she can get you in the midsection too.
yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing is I don't want to get into like a boxing match with her just because I personally don't have any boxing experience. I think that the difference maker and the way I would win the fight would be it almost have to be like, it kind of sounds weird, but like almost like a bear hug situation where like
Yeah,
I
brute
have
strength.
the advantage of just using my brute strength, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Picking her
I
up
could
and
try to
throwing
knock her
her.
out. I have the strength to, but it's like I need to be able to like get her on the ground, be on top of her, and then use like, have her feel some strength she ain't ever felt before.
Oh,
All right,
man.
we can't clip this. We can't clip this.
Oh, man. Yeah,
Jace,
I don't
you're
know.
confident you would beat her though.
In college, when I had this conversation with someone, I was like, dude, there's no way, like the skill of a fighter. And then like today when I was asked it at work, I was like, let's look up how big she is. And I saw she was 130 pounds. I was like, bro,
That's
that's tiny. Like that's so small. And I think, Cam, I actually disagree. Like I think boxing her would be an easier feat for like the average man, like majority of men, than like, dude, like the technical skill of getting on the ground and like using leverage and getting to a limb is like would benefit someone who's trained in jiu-jitsu regardless of size way more. Like even smaller guys, like they're always trying to get to dudes' backs, like things like that, like when they fight. Because it's
So
a
you think it would be
benefit.
harder to grapple her and try to get her in a chokehold or something?
No, I don't. That's why I really don't think this would be much of a fight. But
Yeah.
like I do think with my reach at 6'1", walk around weight of like closer to 190,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be like I don't even if she wouldn't want to come close to me. Like you know what I mean? Like she'd have to
Well, you're calling her out, man. We gotta at her.
charity match. Nah, it's a lose-lose, man. You can't hit a woman.
I know.
I guess we all and then at work they're like, "Oh, you failed the question. You're supposed to say you never hit a woman." Well,
Yeah,
of
we
course.
failed
That's why we said full disclaimer. We would never. But it's an interesting like if you could do it in like a controlled setting, it'd be very interesting.
I feel like Rousey's a little older now too.
Oh yeah, like you'd have
Might
to
be
go
pushing
like
high 30s.
she's like 37, I think now.
It's like picking on the elderly,
Oh yeah.
fighting an elderly woman.
Crazy. crazy. But that's all I had.
Yeah, that's all I had too. Anything else, Semi, before we get out of here?
Chilling, bro.
Chilling. Yes, sir. What are you
When are we
laughing about,
back next?
Jace? Yeah, let's wait, so let me look
that
at
game's
when
on
when is
Thursday.
game 2?
We gotta be
Just
back
to get
Friday.
some.
We gotta recap game 1.
I like
I think
that.
there's gonna be a lot. I think there's gonna be a lot of recap, bro.
Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah, well, so we'll shoot to be back on Friday. Hopefully get some clips posted, but let me wrap this up. This has been Black and White Takes. We're out. We will be back later this week to react to game 1. So drop us a like, follow, and we will return